Are you struggling to find the balance between training too little and training too much? Well, you're in luck, because in today's video, I'm going to tell you how to optimize your training. To find the optimal zone where you should be training, you need to understand two concepts: MEV and MRV, minimum essential volume and maximum recoverable volume. Minimum essential volume is quite simply the bare minimum amount of work that you need to do in order to get good progress and to keep moving forward. And maximum recoverable volume, as its name suggests, is the maximum amount of work that your body can handle. Anything beyond this, your body is going to break down, you're going to go into overtraining, and it's not optimal in the big picture. So, what is better, MEV or MRV? The answer is the truth lies somewhere in between, and it depends from person to person. The honest truth is, most people simply don't train hard enough. People are going in there, they're training casually, they're not focused, they don't have a good plan that they're following for long enough to progressively and consistently hit better targets and to get better and better over time. That's what you need to do in order to get better, in order to build muscle, to get stronger, to get more agile, powerful, better conditioned. Whatever your training goal is, you need a good plan and you need to be focused. So if you aren't doing that, MEV, MRV, it doesn't matter what it is. You need to focus on the basics. Now, coming down to the crux of this video, how do you know how much you need to train? You need to consider some important factors. What is your sleep quality like? Do you get 7, 8 plus hours of sleep every night consistently, and your body is perfectly recovered, and you're going to go into the gym fully fresh, fully recovered, and you're going to kill it in there? Or are you highly stressed, you're barely getting 5, 6 hours of sleep, broken sleep, and you feel restless when you wake up? You need to fix the quality of your sleep in order to optimize your training. Next, what is your nutrition like? Are you getting quality protein? Are you getting sufficient water intake? You're consuming sufficient amount of fiber, that is fruits and vegetables. You're mostly consuming nutrient dense food with little bit of guilty pleasures here and there. And you have a good plan when it comes to nutrition that you're consistent with. Or are you constantly eating junk food? You have no plan. You eat when you're hungry. You're eating too many calories in one meal, too little in another meal. You're consuming a lot of alcohol. You're dehydrated, and your nutrition is basically a mess. In that case, how can you expect to make good training progress? Next is your stress levels. Are you stress free? Your life is balanced. You're able to manage your work, your personal life, and your training efficiently? Or do you have to travel a lot? You have a lot of stress at work. You're constantly fighting with your family or in your relationship, and you're mentally not in a good place. In that case, you can't really push yourself too much when it comes to training in the gym. You need to look at your life as it is when it comes to training, nutrition, stress levels, sleep, all of those things in order to get the results in the big picture. I know this is a very technical video, so if you're still here, I appreciate you. You're one of the real ones. And I'm going to give you the answer that you need to optimize your training. Let me give you an example. Let's say you're training to build muscle, and the minimum essential volume that you need to make progress is 10 sets per muscle group per week, right? So it can be with a combination of 3 or 4 exercises for a given muscle group spread out throughout the week, and you're reaching a total of 10 sets. That is a bare minimum. And the maximum recoverable volume would be 20 sets, which is really pushing it even if you're an advanced lifter. Imagine getting in 20 quality working sets for each muscle group. That is quite a lot. And now, training volume per session is something that needs to be coordinated with the intensity and the effort of training that you're doing. For example, if you're doing a heavy leg training session where you're starting with squats and then you're doing deadlifts, then you're doing lunges, and then you're doing some assistance work for your calves and your adductor or glutes or whatever it is, doing 6 exercises, training close to failure, training hard, doing 3-4 sets on each of those exercises, that's grueling. That's going to kill you, even if you're advanced. In fact, the more advanced you are, the more you're going to push yourself, right? So that's quite a lot. So getting much beyond 10 sets per muscle group per week, if you're training that hard, is going to be difficult. But if you're training easy, your exercise selection is quite easy, you're mostly focusing on machines and isolation work, and you're a beginner who's not pushing themselves that far into training, then your sets can go much beyond 10 sets per week per muscle group. Does that make any sense? properly balancing the volume of training that you do, the intensity of work that you do, choosing the right exercises and planning it, keeping the big picture in the mind, that's called periodization. It takes a lot of knowledge and experience to get this right. And obviously, I can't cover that in this video because every person is different and I can't give generalized stereotypical guidelines on exactly what to do. That's why you need a coach. But what I can do is give you a broad big picture of how to approach your training and how to look at it and how to progress. Now, let me give you an example of an athlete and how his training would vary and how you would incorporate minimum essential volume and maximum recoverable volume in an athlete's training program. So when an athlete is in off season, where there's no competitions, he's resting from his sport or any competition that they have, they get to train harder in the gym. They can spend a lot more time, they can handle a lot more volume because they're not tired from the mental stress of preparing for a sport and then handling the pressure of the competition. They're not physically beat down from all the training, from practice and all the games and all the traveling, so they're able to focus well when it comes to training in the gym. At that time they can push closer towards the maximum recoverable volume. But anytime that you push towards maximum recoverable volume, it is imperative, it is very important that you take a deload. What is a deload? It is quite simply having one full week to train with about half or one third of the training volume that you usually do on your regular sessions. Why is it done? So that your body can recover, and then once you're fully recovered, you can push beyond and you can progress ahead. If you don't take a deload, you keep pushing without letting your body recover, you're doing yourself no favor. The more advanced that you get, the more important it becomes to take a deload. Usually a deload is taken anywhere between 4 to 6 weeks of training. So you train for 3 weeks and the 4th week is the deload, or you train for 5 weeks and the 6th week is the deload. One of these two models generally works very well for most people. Now, how would the athlete train in season? When they're traveling, they have a lot of games that they have to compete in, they're practicing quite a lot, focusing on their sport, then the gym kind of becomes a supplement. It is not the main focus anymore. And at that point, they cannot come anywhere close to maximum recoverable volume. They have to do the minimum amount of work to make sure that they don't lose progress, they maintain all the adaptations that they worked so hard for over the past many months or year, depending on what their competition is, and that's their focus. Now, if I have to explain the concepts of MEV and MRV in one simple sentence, this is something that I want you to take away from this video, and that is minimum essential volume sets the baseline for progress, and maximum recoverable volume sets the ceiling for recovery. Think about that. Rewind this video 10 seconds and listen to that again. So guys, that's about MEV and MRV. Remember, it's not about training too hard and pushing yourself to the absolute limits every time. Neither is it about slacking off and taking it too easy in the gym. You have to find the right balance. If you're really serious about your training and you want to actually focus on doing well, then you can reach out to me via my Instagram DM or hit me up with an email. And in the meanwhile, watch this video. This is going to help you out immensely. And that's it for this video. Like, share, comment, subscribe, and hit the bell icon. It's going to help me out immensely. And until next time, take care, stay hungry.